So I'd like to call upon Jill and Chris right now to give toasts to the bride and groom, so if they can get ready. And I would just like to cue the event staff if we can prepare the blinds or the windows for the presentation that comes after these toasts. We'll have a brief PowerPoint presentation, so we maybe can have that done while the toasts are being given. So I'll ask the Jill and Chris to come up together, and they'll each present their speeches, and then we'll ask you to all stand at the same time at the end, and we'll do the actual toasting. So we'll do the bride and we'll do the groom, so you don't have to jump up and down for several different toasts. So I'll call on Jill and Chris. Thank you.
So as already mentioned, I'm Brent's friend Chris. I've known Brent, I was thinking about it, I guess for about 25 years. We went to grade school together, high school, through engineering, and here we are today. So before I start, I actually should make a little bit of an announcement here. Now that Brent is officially off the market, we are going to need all of his lady friends to bring back the keys to his place. So if you could bring them up to the front here now, please, that would be good. Don't be shy, come on. I know there's a few of them out there, Scott. I guess Brent has very eclectic tastes. I think he made the right choice. Stay away from my mom. With that out of the way, I have to say it. I'm sure it's not the first time, but it's about damn time. Make sure you don't want another decade to, mull it over, make sure that your mind's made up. I think I have it figured out, though. I think I know why it's taken so long. I think Natasha has been looking at the size of this man's gigantic head for a decade and cringing at the thought of bearing his children. I should really probably refrain from making jokes at their future cranially endowed children. Focus the ridicule more towards Brent himself. I can be hard on Brent because I know he can find a joy in almost any joke, including the ones even at his own expense. It's been said a few times before that Brent is missing the filter between his brain and his mouth. He tends to put his body and mouth in motion before he puts his mind in gear. Happily, this is something that's actually greatly improved over the years, but was especially prevalent during his youth. Given that I suffer from the same affliction, it made for some interesting situations. I had to go through my memory. I wanted to tell two stories about Brent. I had a lot of things to consider: crowd, statute of limitations. So the first one, actually, we were probably 12, 13 years old, and we'd gotten into radio-controlled, vehicles. And we decided to make our own RC track just outside of town in a dirt field. So we carted out some shovels and a wagon and everything out to the field and started toiling away. It was time for dinner, so I decided to go in. Brent thought he could finish up before dinner, so I left him there. We decided to meet after dinner. I'd give him a call, and we'd go out and test it out. When I called after dinner, his parents didn't know where he was. He hadn't come home yet. Brent called me about a half hour later, and apparently the bugs had come up quite bad. He decided that the best bug repellent was to just grab 2 shovels and start swinging them wildly at the bugs. He actually managed to hit himself in the back of the head with one of the shovels and woke up in a pool of dirt and saliva, praying to God that he could make it home. The second is a little longer. Also, when we were young, we had gotten into solid fuel rockets, little tiny rockets. You'd send them up into the air. After watching one of the ones my dad made horribly explode on the launch pad, we decided that was much more exciting. So we started making those using anything we could, match heads, bags of gasoline, anything we could to cause a pretty horrendous explosion. We eventually found our way into taking the gunpowder right directly from shotgun shells. Probably not the wisest idea. Actually, and as we took out the pellets to get to the powder, we realized, essentially what we had made was a blank. And having just seen Terminator, we decided that, we could probably create a pretty good scene using that. So we loaded a couple of blanks into a shotgun and called our friend Dave over, who isn't here tonight for obvious reasons. He opened up the door to see Brent holding a shotgun. And, everything went slow motion for me, I saw in Dave's eyes, the 5 stages of grief. All within like a half a second, and, eventually he ended up at acceptance. You could see in Dave's eyes, he knew he was going to die. Brent, I don't think anything slowed down for Brent because he just spit out "Hasta la vista, baby," and pulled the trigger. When Dave buckled over, I started thinking, I wonder if we missed a pellet. We didn't, but what we failed to realize is that there is a small plastic plug between the pellets and the powder that, when you're really close, comes out pretty hard. Dave wasn't our friend for much longer after that. Natasha, your life will never be dull. He will make you laugh when you need it the most. And as someone you can truly take at face value, you'll never have to question his honesty or work very hard to figure out what he's thinking.